The quantum sensors aboard Earth's deep space station Artemis erupted in a cascade of alerts, their warnings echoing through the command center. Dr. Sarah Chen, lead scientist of humanity's most advanced space observation post, stared at the readings in disbelief. The anomaly had appeared without warning, a massive distortion in space-time that dwarfed anything humans had ever detected. "Director Reynolds," she called, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "You need to see this." The station's director, Marcus Reynolds, crossed the room in quick strides, his weathered face illuminated by the holographic displays. The former NASA astronaut had seen many strange things during his career, but nothing like this. The distortion was growing, its energy signatures unlike anything in their database. "Get me a direct line to the World Space Coalition," Reynolds ordered, his eyes fixed on the expanding anomaly. "And someone wake up the quantum physics team." Before anyone could comply, the distortion burst open like a flower of light, and through it emerged a sight that would forever change human history. A fleet of vessels, each larger than Earth's largest cities, materialized in the space between Mars and Jupiter. Their hulls gleamed with an otherworldly iridescence, patterns of light flowing across their surfaces like liquid metal. The command center fell silent, dozens of Earth's brightest minds struggling to process what they were seeing. Humanity had long debated whether they were alone in the universe. Now, they had their answer. "Sir," called Lieutenant James Wong from the communications station, his voice cracking slightly, "we're receiving a transmission. It's being broadcast on all frequencies, in every major Earth language simultaneously." Reynolds squared his shoulders. "Put it through." The main screen flickered to life, revealing a being that appeared almost crystalline, its translucent body housing swirling patterns of bioluminescence. When it spoke, its words were perfectly synchronized with the movement of its lighting patterns. "People of Earth, I am High Chancellor Zexera of the Galactic Federation. Your species has been observed since you first split the atom. The time has come for your integration into the greater galactic community." Reynolds felt a chill run down his spine. There was something in the alien's tone, a certainty that bordered on arrogance. "High Chancellor, I am Director Marcus Reynolds of Deep Space Station Artemis. We are honored by your contact, but I must defer to our world's governments for any discussions of integration." The crystalline being's lights pulsed with what might have been amusement. "Your deference is noted but unnecessary. The Federation's protocols for advancing species are standardized and non-negotiable. You will receive our integration package within your planetary rotation. Compliance is mandatory." Dr. Chen stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overriding protocol. "High Chancellor, surely a Federation as advanced as yours understands the importance of cultural autonomy and self-determination." The alien's lights darkened slightly. "Your species' penchant for questioning authority is well documented, Dr. Chen. It is one of many traits that will be corrected during the integration process. Resistance is not advised. The Federation's technological superiority is absolute." As if to emphasize this point, one of the smaller Federation ships fired a beam of energy at a defunct satellite. The satellite didn't explode. It simply ceased to exist, leaving not even debris behind. Reynolds felt his jaw tighten. "And if Earth refuses this integration, then your species will be deemed unworthy of preservation. The Federation does not allow potentially dangerous species to develop independently. You have 24 hours to prepare your world leaders for the beginning of integration procedures." The transmission cut off abruptly, leaving the command center in stunned silence. Reynolds turned to his staff, seeing in their faces the same mix of fear and determination he felt. "Dr. Chen, I want every scrap of data we have on their ships, their weapons, everything. Lieutenant Wong, get me the World Security Council, and someone find Dr. Patel. If anyone can make sense of their technology, it's her." As his crew rushed to comply, Reynolds looked back at the massive alien fleet. In all of humanity's predictions about first contact, few had imagined it would come as an ultimatum. But if these Federation aliens thought humanity would simply roll over and accept subjugation, they were in for a surprise. In the quantum physics lab 16 levels below, Dr. Amara Patel was already making discoveries that would reshape the coming conflict. The Federation's demonstration of their weapon had revealed something fascinating. Their technology operated on principles that were entirely different from Earth's recent quantum breakthroughs. "Look at these energy signatures," she muttered to her team, pointing to the readings from the satellite's destruction. "They're using controlled dimensional collapse, but it's rigid, standardized. They've turned it into an industrial process." Her colleague, Dr. Thomas Weber, leaned in closer. "But that means—" "Exactly." Amara's eyes lit up with the excitement of discovery. "Their whole technological base is built on different principles than ours. They've mastered certain physical laws, but they've done it through brute force and standardization. Our quantum manipulation theories might be completely unknown to them." Above them, the Federation fleet held position, their ships arranged in perfect geometric patterns. They were confident in their superiority, certain in their absolute control of physical laws. They had no way of knowing that in labs and research facilities across Earth, humans were already finding the gaps in their understanding, the places where Earth's different path of technological development might give them an edge. 23 hours later, the World Security Council convened in their underground chamber in Geneva. Representatives from every nation sat around the circular table, their faces illuminated by holographic displays showing the Federation fleet. Secretary General Helena Martinez stood, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's response. "The vote is unanimous. Earth refuses the Federation's terms of integration. We will not surrender our independence, our culture, or our right to self-determination." She turned to Admiral Sarah Chen, who had been promoted from her research position to lead Earth's unified defense forces. "Admiral, you have command of all Earth's military assets. Show these aliens why humanity does not bow to ultimatums." As the Federation's deadline approached, Earth prepared for war. But in labs around the world, scientists like Amara Patel were discovering that humanity's greatest weapon might not be their ships or their guns, but rather their unique understanding of the universe. An understanding born from asking questions the Federation had never thought to ask. The next 24 hours would determine not just Earth's fate, but perhaps the very nature of civilization in the galaxy. And humanity, as it had so many times before, would either find a way or make one. Dr. Amara Patel hadn't slept in 36 hours, but she couldn't stop now. Not when she was on the verge of understanding something that could save humanity. The holographic displays in her underground laboratory showed a peculiar phenomenon, one that shouldn't have been possible according to conventional physics. "It doesn't make sense," she muttered, running another simulation. "Their scans should be detecting our quantum facilities, but they're not even registering them." Her team had been analyzing the Federation's sensor data intercepted during their initial scans of Earth. According to their readings, Earth's technology was barely past the atomic age. They had completely missed the quantum research facilities, the zero-point energy plants, and the experimental gravity manipulation centers. Dr. Thomas Weber rushed into the lab, clutching a tablet. "Amara, you need to see this. We just finished analyzing the electromagnetic field data." The display shifted to show Earth's magnetic field, but not as anyone had seen it before. Quantum interactions they had always attributed to background noise were revealed to be something far more significant. "Our planet's magnetic field," Amara breathed, understanding dawning in her tired eyes. "It's not just protecting us from solar radiation. It's creating quantum interference patterns that are invisible to conventional sensors. Earth has been hiding us," Thomas added, his voice filled with wonder. "All our quantum experiments, our breakthroughs, they'd been naturally shielded by our planet's own magnetic field. The Federation can't see them because they're looking for the wrong things." Admiral Chen's voice came through the intercom, making them both jump. "Dr. Patel, please tell me you have something. The Federation ships are beginning to move." "Admiral, I think we found our advantage." The Federation's technology is based on manipulating space-time through brute force. They've mastered it, but they've done it in the most straightforward way possible. Our quantum approach is completely foreign to them. Can we use this? Amara's fingers flew across her console, bringing up designs she'd been working on. Better than that, we can amplify it. Earth's magnetic field has been hiding our quantum technology. If we can strengthen these interference patterns, we might be able to create zones where their weapons simply don't work. Above the planet, the Federation fleet was moving into attack formation. High Chancellor Zexera's crystalline form pulsed with anticipation as he addressed his commanders. The humans have made their choice. Begin the standard subjugation protocol. Their primitive defenses will collapse within hours. But in labs and military installations around the world, humanity was preparing a defense that was anything but standard. The quantum interference generators, devices that had been considered failed experiments months ago, were being rapidly modified based on Amara's discoveries. All stations, this is Admiral Chen. Begin Operation Dark Mirror. Deploy quantum interference fields on my mark. The Federation's first attack came precisely at the deadline. Beams of concentrated dimensional energy lanced toward Earth's major cities, weapons that should have caused targeted areas to cease existing. Instead, the beams hit the quantum interference fields and did something unexpected. In the Geneva Command Center, Admiral Chen watched as the Federation's weapons distorted and twisted, their energy dispersing harmlessly into quantum space. On her tactical display, she could see the Federation ships registering confusion, their perfect formation wavering for the first time. How is this possible? High Chancellor Zexera demanded, his crystalline form flickering with agitation. Their technology level cannot support this kind of defense. But humanity's surprise was just beginning. From hidden bases around the planet, Earth's own ships began to rise. They were fewer in number and smaller than the Federation vessels, but they moved in ways that defied the aliens' understanding of physics. Quantum drive signatures detected. A Federation officer reported, their lights pulsing with confusion. But they're impossible. The patterns make no sense. Earth's ships, powered by quantum engines that drew energy from the fabric of space-time itself, danced through the Federation's formation. Their movements weren't bound by the same laws of physics that the Federation had standardized. They slipped through quantum states, appearing and disappearing in ways that the alien sensors couldn't track. In her lab, Amara watched the battle unfolding with a mixture of hope and anxiety. The quantum interference fields are working better than we hoped, she told Admiral Chen. But they're adapting. They're trying to brute force their way through with pure power. Can they succeed? Not if we keep changing the quantum frequency patterns. Their standardized approach is their weakness. They expect everything to follow the same rules. We just have to keep breaking those rules in new ways. The battle above Earth had become a strange dance. The Federation's overwhelming firepower was rendered nearly useless by defenses they couldn't understand, while Earth's smaller fleet struck from impossible angles, their quantum-based weapons bypassing standardized shields. High Chancellor Zexera watched in growing concern as his perfect formation began to break apart. Impossible, he whispered, his crystalline form dimming. Their technology. It violates all established protocols. In the Geneva Command Center, Admiral Chen allowed herself a small smile. That's humanity's greatest strength, Chancellor. We don't follow protocols. We break them, reshape them, and make new ones. But even as Earth celebrated its initial success, Amara noticed something concerning in her data. The Federation ships were beginning to emit new energy patterns. They were learning, adapting their standardized approach to account for Earth's quantum anomalies. Admiral, she called urgently. They're changing their tactics. This isn't over yet. The battle for Earth was just beginning, and humanity would need every ounce of its ingenuity to survive what came next. But they had already proven one thing. The Federation's assumption of technological superiority had been their first mistake. Humanity's path of development, hidden by their own planet's magnetic field, had led them to understanding the universe in ways the Federation had never imagined. As the quantum interference fields continued to protect Earth, scientists around the world worked frantically to develop new applications of their technology. The Federation might have standardized their mastery of spacetime, but humanity had chosen a different path, one that might just save their independence and perhaps change the galaxy forever. The Federation's massive fleet hung in Earth's orbit like a constellation of artificial stars, their crystalline hulls reflecting sunlight in dazzling patterns. But their perfect formation had been shattered, their standardized attack protocols disrupted by humanity's quantum defenses. High Chancellor Zexera's form pulsed with barely contained fury as he addressed his command staff. This primitive species has somehow developed technology that operates outside our understanding. His light patterns flickered rapidly. But we are the Federation. We have brought order to 1,000 worlds. We will not be defied by these anomalies. On Earth, Admiral Chen watched the Federation ships regrouping, their movements suggesting a new strategy was forming. She stood in the reinforced command center beneath Geneva, surrounded by holographic displays showing the ongoing space battle. Dr. Amara Patel's voice came through the quantum-encrypted channel. Admiral, we've detected changes in their energy signatures. They're modulating their dimensional collapse weapons, trying to find frequencies that can penetrate our quantum interference fields. Chen nodded grimly. They're adaptable. How long can we stay ahead of them? We've got research teams worldwide developing new quantum frequency patterns, but they have numbers and raw power on their side. We need something more than just defense. Show me what you have in mind. In her underground laboratory, Amara pulled up the schematics she and her team had been working on. We've been studying the quantum state transitions our ships use to evade their sensors. What if we could weaponize that same principle? The display showed a new device, one that combined Earth's quantum manipulation technology with captured Federation energy crystals. We're calling it the Quantum Cascade device. It doesn't just hide from their sensors. It actively disrupts their standardized energy patterns. Above the planet, the Federation launched their second major assault. This time, their weapons fire came in varying frequencies, probing for weaknesses in Earth's quantum defenses. Some shots made it through, devastating small areas of the planet's surface. But humanity had prepared for this. Earth's defense fleet, now augmented with Amara's quantum cascade devices, began their counterattack. The smaller human ships seemed to flicker in and out of existence, appearing inside the Federation's formation at impossible angles. When they fired their new weapons, the effects were devastating. Federation ships found their carefully regulated energy systems thrown into chaos. Standardized shields designed to withstand dimensional collapse weapons proved useless against attacks that shifted through multiple quantum states simultaneously. Crystalline hulls cracked as their molecular bonds were disrupted by forces their builders had never anticipated. Impossible. Zexera's voice boomed through the Federation command channel. Their technology violates fundamental laws of physics. In the Geneva Command Center, Admiral Chen allowed herself a tight smile. No, Chancellor. We just found laws you never thought to look for. The battle raged across Earth's orbit, a clash between the Federation's overwhelming power and humanity's impossible maneuvers. Federation ships fired salvos that could have vaporized cities, only to have their energy absorbed and redirected by quantum interference fields. Earth's vessels struck back with weapons that seemed to ignore the very concepts of space and time that the Federation had built their empire upon. But the Federation's numbers began to tell. Despite their technological surprise, humanity couldn't be everywhere at once. More Federation weapons fire was getting through their defenses, leaving destruction in its wake. Major cities activated their emergency shields, but the strain on the global quantum interference network was growing. Admiral, Amara's voice was tense. The quantum interference fields are starting to destabilize. We can't maintain this level of defense much longer. Chen studied the tactical display, her mind racing. The Federation's adaptation to their quantum technology was proceeding faster than expected. They needed something else, something even more unexpected. Dr. Patel, you said our planet's magnetic field has been hiding our quantum technology. Could we use that principle on a larger scale? There was a pause as Amara considered the possibility. You mean weaponize the entire magnetic field? That would be incredibly risky. We'd be manipulating forces we barely understand. But is it possible? Theoretically, we'd need to synchronize every quantum facility on the planet. One mistake could disrupt Earth's magnetic field permanently. But if it worked, Chen made her decision. Get me the World Security Council and tell every quantum research facility to prepare for synchronized operation. If we're going to do this, we do it now. As the orders went out, the battle above Earth reached a fever pitch. Federation ships pressed their attack, their weapons now finding gaps in the weakening quantum interference fields. Earth's defenders fought back with desperate creativity, using their quantum drives to appear inside Federation vessels, their cascade devices wreaking havoc on standardized systems. In her lab, Amara worked frantically with a global team of scientists, preparing for the riskiest experiment in human history. They would attempt to turn Earth's entire magnetic field into a weapon, not through brute force like the Federation, but through subtle manipulation of quantum states on a planetary scale. The Federation fleet pressed closer to Earth, confidence returning as they saw the human defenses weakening. High Chancellor Zexera prepared to deliver the final blow, unaware that humanity was about to remind the galaxy why adaptation and innovation would always triumph over standardization and protocol. The battle for Earth was about to enter its final phase, and the outcome would determine not just humanity's fate, but the future of technological development throughout the galaxy. As Amara initiated the planetary quantum synchronization sequence, she couldn't help but appreciate the irony. The varied forces that had hidden Earth's technological development were about to become its greatest weapon. The moment of truth arrived as Earth's quantum research facilities engaged in perfect synchronization. Dr. Amara Patel's fingers flew across her console, coordinating the most ambitious scientific endeavor in human history. Around the world, quantum generators hummed to life, their energy feeding into Earth's magnetic field in carefully calculated pulses. Quantum synchronization at 30%, she reported, her voice steady despite the stakes. Field manipulation is stable. Moving to Phase 2. In the Geneva Command Center, Admiral Chen watched the tactical displays with intense focus. The Federation fleet had pressed their advantage, their weapons finding more gaps in Earth's weakening conventional defenses. Cities across the globe had taken heavy damage, but humanity's spirit remained unbroken. Energy synchronization at 60%. Amara's voice came through. The magnetic field is beginning to respond. Admiral, we're seeing some unexpected resonance patterns. High Chancellor Zexera, watching from his flagship, noticed something strange happening to his fleet's sensors. The quantum anomalies that had been interfering with their systems were growing stronger, but in ways their instruments couldn't properly measure. Status report, he demanded, his crystalline form flickering with unease. Unknown energy pattern expanding from the planet's magnetic field, his science officer reported. It's not following any known physical protocols. Impossible. All energy must follow the standard laws of physics. Increase power to sensors and... The officer's response was cut short as Earth's magnetic field suddenly shifted into a state that the Federation's standardized science had never predicted. The carefully controlled quantum manipulation had transformed the planet's natural defenses into something entirely new. In her lab, Amara stared at her readings in amazement. Admiral, the field isn't just blocking their sensors anymore. It's creating a cascading quantum effect. Their standardized systems can't process the contradictions. The effect was immediate and dramatic. Federation ships closest to Earth found their energy systems behaving in ways that violated their fundamental understanding of physics. Weapons fired backward or phased out of normal spacetime entirely. Communication systems received messages from moments that hadn't happened yet. All ships, emergency protocol. Zexera's orders rang out as his fleet began to lose cohesion. Retreat to safe distance but there was no safe distance. Earth's transformed magnetic field was expanding, carrying with it humanity's understanding of quantum physics, an understanding that had evolved hidden from the Federation's standardized view of the universe. Admiral Chen seized the moment. All ships, execute Operation Quantum Storm. Hit them while they can't understand what they're seeing. Earth's defenders struck with precision, their quantum drives allowing them to navigate the chaos they had created. Federation ships, their systems confused by energy patterns that shouldn't exist, found themselves unable to mount an effective defense. This defies all established principles. Zexera raged as his fleet was torn apart not by brute force, but by their own inability to process what was happening. Their technology, it's wrong. No, Amara whispered, watching the battle through her quantum sensors. It's just different. We found another path. The Federation's mighty armada, which had brought countless civilizations to heal through overwhelming force and standardized technology, was being undone by the very thing they had sought to eliminate: technological diversity. Their ships, all built to the same exacting specifications, all shared the same fundamental weakness. But the victory came with a price. The strain of maintaining the quantum transformation of Earth's magnetic field was enormous. Power grids across the planet flickered as every available watt was channeled into the effort. Dr. Patel, Admiral Chen called. Status report. The field transformation is stable, but we can't maintain it indefinitely. The quantum synchronization is pushing our generators to their limits. We have maybe an hour before we have to power down or risk permanent damage to Earth's magnetic field. Chen nodded grimly. Then we make this hour count. All ships, press the attack. Show them why humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to think differently. The space around Earth had become a graveyard of crystalline ships, their perfect forms shattered by forces their builders had never imagined possible. The Federation fleet, for the first time in its long history, was in full retreat. High Chancellor Zexera, watching his invasion force crumble, felt something he hadn't experienced in centuries: doubt. The Federation had based its entire civilization on the principle that the universe could be understood and controlled through standardization. But these humans, with their quantum manipulation and impossible physics, had proven that principle fundamentally flawed. As the battle entered its final phase, Earth's defenders pressed their advantage. The Federation's retreat became increasingly chaotic as their ships struggled to cope with the quantum anomaly saturating space. Humanity had not only survived their greatest challenge, they had turned their unique development, their isolation, and their different understanding of physics into a weapon that the galaxy's greatest power could not counter. But even in victory, Admiral Chen and Dr. Patel knew that this was only the beginning. The Federation would return, perhaps with new technology adapted to handle Earth's quantum warfare. Yet they had proven something crucial: that there was more than one path to understanding the universe, and that diversity in technological development wasn't a weakness to be corrected, but a strength to be embraced. As the last Federation ships disappeared into faster-than-light travel, Amara began the delicate process of returning Earth's magnetic field to its natural state. The planet had been wounded in the battle, but humanity had emerged stronger, more united, and with a new understanding of their place in the galaxy. 3 days after the Federation's retreat, Earth's quantum detection grid lit up with new contacts. But this time, the approaching ships were different. Gone were the perfect crystalline formations and standardized energy signatures. Instead, a small diplomatic flotilla approached, broadcasting on all frequencies in a clear gesture of peace. Admiral Chen stood in the newly repaired Geneva Command Center, watching the incoming vessels with cautious optimism. Dr. Amara Patel worked at a console nearby, analyzing the visitors' energy signatures. Their ships have been modified, Amara reported, surprise evident in her voice. They're using hybrid systems, a combination of their dimensional technology and attempts at quantum manipulation. They're learning. Chen allowed herself a small smile. That's what makes them more dangerous than before. The Federation is adapting. The lead diplomatic vessel came to a halt just outside Earth's defense perimeter. Its design was noticeably different from the warships they had faced, more organic, less rigidly geometric. When the transmission came through, it wasn't High Chancellor Zexera who appeared on the screen, but a new face. "I am Ambassador Lyra." The crystalline being's form pulsed with softer, more varied patterns than they had seen before. "I represent the Federation Council of Sciences. We request permission to enter orbit and begin diplomatic discussions." Chen noted the careful choice of words. "Request, not demand." "Permission granted, Ambassador. But be aware that our quantum defense grid remains active." As the diplomatic ships moved into orbit, Amara's team continued their analysis. The Federation vessels showed signs of rapid technological evolution, attempts to incorporate principles they had discovered during the battle. It was impressive, but it also confirmed humanity's advantage. While the Federation could adapt, their standardized approach to science made rapid innovation difficult. The meeting was set in a neutral location, the International Space Station, now enhanced with quantum shields and Federation-derived dimensional stabilizers. Admiral Chen and Dr. Patel represented Earth, while Ambassador Lyra led the Federation delegation. "The Federation Council has spent days analyzing the battle." Lyra began, her crystalline form shifting through subtle colors. "In all our history, we have never encountered a species that developed along such divergent lines. Your quantum manipulation technologies, your understanding of physics, they challenge everything we believed about scientific development. That's because you tried to force the galaxy to follow a single path," Amara replied. "Nature doesn't work that way. The universe is full of possibilities, different ways of understanding and manipulating reality." Lyra's form pulsed in what might have been acknowledgement. "Yes, we see that now. The Federation's mission has always been to bring order to chaos, to establish universal standards for technological development. We believe this was the only way to ensure stable progress. But your world has proven that isolation can breed innovation, that different paths can lead to equal or even superior results." "And now?" Chen asked, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's future. "Now, we propose a new relationship. Not integration, but partnership. Earth has shown that technological diversity isn't a weakness to be eliminated, but a strength to be cultivated. The Federation Council wishes to establish a scientific exchange program. Your quantum theories for our dimensional manipulation technology." Chen and Amara exchanged glances. This was an opportunity not just for humanity, but for the entire galaxy. The Federation's resources and experience, combined with Earth's innovative approach to physics, could open up entirely new fields of scientific discovery. "We'll need guarantees," Chen stated firmly. "Earth's independence must be absolute and unquestionable." "Of course," Lyra agreed. "The Federation Council has already ratified a resolution recognizing Earth as a sovereign power. More than that, we propose establishing Earth as the headquarters for a new division within the Federation, the Department of Alternative Technologies. Your scientists would lead research into non-standardized approaches to physics and engineering." As the negotiations continued, Earth began its recovery from the battle. Cities were rebuilt, now incorporating both human and Federation technology. The quantum defense grid was expanded and enhanced, ensuring that humanity would never again be vulnerable to standardized warfare. But the greatest changes were happening in laboratories across the planet. Federation scientists worked alongside human researchers, each learning from the other's approach. The rigid crystalline architecture of Federation technology began to evolve, incorporating quantum principles in ways that their builders had never imagined possible. 6 months after the battle, the first hybrid ship rolled out of Earth's orbital shipyards. It combined Federation dimensional drives with human quantum manipulation systems, creating something entirely new. As Amara ran her final checks on the prototype, she reflected on how far they had come. "It's beautiful," she said to Admiral Chen, watching the ship's systems power up. Not because it's perfect, but because it's different. Unique. Chen nodded, understanding the deeper meaning. That's humanity's gift to the galaxy. We reminded them that progress doesn't have to follow a single path. Sometimes the best way forward is to try something new, something that breaks all the rules. The hybrid ship's quantum dimensional drive hummed to life, its energy patterns a harmony of two different approaches to understanding the universe. As it prepared for its maiden voyage, Ambassador Lyra stood with the human leaders, her crystalline form glowing with what they had learned to recognize as excitement. "This is just the beginning," she said, watching the ship rise from Earth's surface. "Together, we will discover new laws of physics, new ways of seeing the universe. The Federation sought to bring order to chaos, but you've shown us that sometimes chaos is where the greatest discoveries lie." As the hybrid ship disappeared into quantum dimensional space, humanity looked to the stars with new purpose. They had not only preserved their independence, but had changed the course of galactic civilization. The age of standardization was over. A new era of diversity, innovation, and unlimited possibilities had begun. In her lab, Amara was already working on new theories, combining Federation knowledge with human intuition in ways that neither civilization had imagined possible. The universe, they were discovering, was far stranger and more wonderful than anyone had believed, and humanity's unique path of development had given them the perfect perspective to explore its mysteries.